Oh, no sound. Why is that? Oh, now it's showing. Okay, that makes no sense. Why was that not showing there? All right, well, now you got sound. I had sound when I just tested it just before the stream, and all of a sudden, I don't know what button I must have hit, but, there we go. You should have sound now. What a great way to start the week anyways. Well, anyways, like I was saying, welcome back to Farming Simmer 25. What I was saying here is we're going to buy this field, which we just did, because the peas are ready for harvest. Anyways, yeah, I did download a couple of mods. We're gonna get to the harvesting here of the peas in a little while, even though I do have a restriction on harvesters and such. The hand tool pack, which is on the mod hub, we're probably going to harvest these peas with a hand tool. Again, I can't borrow or lease anything. I have to buy outright, but those tools are rather cheap. This land here is where the farmhouse is going to be, and maybe a little section for sugar beet. Oh, wait, I did not activate... I don't think I activated it. You know what? I know I did not activate it. Hang on a second. We're going to have to save the game. And we're going to save it twice for good luck. I downloaded the mod last night, but I forgot to activate it for today. And we're going to kind of have to have a look at it here. So we're going to go back to the main menu. Wait for it to load. That's taking a while. Okay, there we go. I had to think about it. Pichonniere Valley. Is it called the Vineyard Winery Pack? There we go. Let's activate that. And start. Yeah, there's some mods that need updates, but we're not doing that. Oh yeah, so since my microphone didn't work for the first minute and a half, welcome Daniel and John. Like I was saying, hope you guys had a nice weekend. Yeah, it's a Monday, but we got some work to do here in the farm. We're going to get it done, or at least attempt to try to get it done. Hello, Farmer G. Welcome. So now that we own a pea field, I'm going to have to buy a hand cart to harvest the peas. But also the hand cart we're going to be getting is also going to be good for the sugar beet, which we're going to get into. All right, now that I got the winery installed, if I go to construction, I have no idea how much the winery costs. If I go down to it's going to be at the bottom, $145,000 for the winery, and I'm probably going to need this as well. That's $50,000 to do sugar. So I need $200,000 to kind of get the winery up and going. Actually, it's going to be a little bit more than that because we will have the grapes. Why does that keep switching over to that? I have no idea. But we got some grapes to do as well. So baby steps, but we're getting there. All right, let me start off with, I would say, something simple, but the way today is starting, it may not be simple. Let's grab, where's my baler? Oh, there it is. So we got the large grass field. Let me go get that grass baled up and wrapped. I think we are saving the silage bales, and also we got to make some hay over there. And that is all for the cows, which I probably should have a check on. All right, they're full, and the chickens probably are full-ish. Turn on automatic drop. Alrighty, and fire that up. Probably going to run out of bale net going through. Okay, that didn't take long to fill up. Probably should look to see how much was in there before I started in the field, but we're all good. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was also going to buy the Verado, or wait a minute. I may have bought the Verado drill for replanting. Did I do that? If I did, is probably still at the store. I see something at the store. Can I click on that? Yes, I already bought the Varado drill, so the grass fields need to be re-drilled. Oh wow, I got a lot of work to do. And then also we gotta put lime in some of the fields, fertilize the fields. And with August right around the corner, probably replant some canola and mustard. Work list is getting longer and longer. So I mean, it's not going to take us long to get back up to be able to afford like the winery production and also get down the mill for making some sugar. Not going to be able to make any wine this year, but probably next year, which also means I got to figure out what I want to do, where I want to put the grapes. And I don't quite remember exactly when I could put down grapes. I'm going to say in the springtime. Boy, because it's been a long time. I don't think I've done grapes in 25. We've done olives. Grapes is March through May. Alright, so I got to figure out where I want to put them. I was thinking about the 2 smaller grass fields, but yeah, I don't know yet. But I got a little time to think about it. So we get these, this grass build up here. Then I think we're going to go jump in the combine and get another field harvested. Then we'll go make some hay bales after that field. Kind of switch it up in between. That way I'm not harvesting field after field, then going and doing some grass work. We'll kind of mix it up here and there. You can see this grass field has taken some damage. That should not be boar damage because we have been feeding the wildlife every winter. It's just that this field has taken more damage than the other ones. Also, just a reminder, I did release an episode of American Truck Simulator yesterday. I hope the video looked as good or even better than what I have been posting for the past couple years. I spent some time over the weekend making some adjustments on how the videos are rendered. So hopefully it looked pretty darn good. I also did get an episode of City Skylines ready for Wednesday, but if you're a channel member, you already have access to that as well. And I spent a little time into SnowRunner moving some vehicles around over the weekend. So when we get back into that later on this week, we are good to go to get some jobs done. I think it took me about an hour and a half to get some trucks back to some factories so we can pick up some material. And yeah, I'm starting to go down the rabbit hole on the mods on SnowRunner. It's happening. One thing I didn't get a chance to do is really look at the DLC that'll be coming out for Farming Simulator 25 later on. Is it called the Sky Harvest Pack? Is that what they're calling it? I didn't even get a chance to even go look at it. Just to see what the whole DLC is going to be about. Again, we'll have a look at it when it comes out. So this field here, I do want to get replanted. In this in-game month. As you can see, this grass field is a little bit worse for wear. Hello, Miles. Welcome. Hope your weekend went well. So since I am down to 7,000, I probably should be looking what is available for any contracts, because I got a couple of tractors sitting back at the farm doing pretty much nothing. Bale wrapping, baling deadwood, stone picking, tedding grass. Okay, none of those I can really set a worker off to go do. And being July, I don't think I got anything to sell that's near its peak. So, if I do hire workers in this in-game month, that could be a slight problem. I mean, I probably could go sell some silage bales that's over at the cow barn that I was saving for the cows, but if I need a little bit of cash, I could probably take those and go sell it. I probably should look, because I just bought that pea field. Not really for the peas, but I was going to buy it in a month or two anyway, so might as well buy it when it's ready for harvest. What months, how much longer do I have to harvest the peas? Does that need to be done? Oh, peas, I got a couple of months, so I don't have to rush into that. I can't really go into the pea field to get work done because it's ready for harvest. I'll destroy some crop. Oh, rolls are empty, so let's go ahead and yeah, we'll stick with the white. Well, there goes 1,200 bucks. Glad I had enough to pay for that. I mean, I could always go sell some butter, but the butter price obviously is not going to be good in this month. Probably the worst month to sell butter. Now my rolls are empty. Net rolls are empty. Luckily, that only cost me 400. And I'm going to leave that in there just like that. That'll be converted over to hay, I would think. And we're going to put you just right here. Middle of summer, so everything's just going to get thrown everywhere. Let's drop off the alarm spreader. Go get the grain. I'm going to say my grain trailer is... I think I did park it down by the combine. Got a farmer working in that field there. Yep, there's the grain trailer. Alright, we'll leave the engine running. And let's grab the combine, our new combine. And of course our new header as well. Making this year's harvest so much better. You want to fold up. My side panel is kind of acting finicky. Let me restart it here. See if that helps. Seems more responsive. Of course, now when I reset that, my steering wheel gets all out of whack, so I gotta reset my steering wheel. One thing after another. So this is winter wheat, so I'm definitely going to want to put this into a swath. So let me activate the swath dropper, or so it doesn't chop it on up. So when I get done with the harvest or have a full trailer, we'll top off the chickens, because chickens will take, of course, wheat. Make sure their feed trough is nice and full. Now we'll get them all the way till winter time. Usually with a full feed trough, the chickens can go 5.5 months. Hoping I can get a lot of this work done in the month of July. That way August won't be as busy. But obviously August is a good month, or the first month, to plant canola and mustard. I think in the last stream last week we did a little bit of crop rotation. So I don't remember, but I don't remember what field is going to be for what next year. Let's see, I probably should empty out here, because I'm not going to have too many trees over there. So, Kubota. So once we get those peas harvested, we'll start figuring out exactly what to do with that field, where we're going to place everything. I might even put the grapes in there too. Oh, okay, so I'm hitting a bush. Alright, let's go ahead and back up the combine a little bit. And the auger is a little bit too long. I forgot how long the auger is. I don't need to brush right up against the combine with this auger. Been playing House Flipper Remastered collection over the weekend. I haven't. I mean, I got videos on House Flipper from years ago. I have not played House Flipper probably in like 5 years or so. I think I was given a key to House Flipper 2. But I just, I don't know, I just didn't feel it when it came out to dive into it. I probably had so many games going on at that time. There's another game coming out. Is it Frozen Ship? Was it Frozen Ship or something like that? I've been kind of in contact with them a little bit. That could be rather interesting. That version just came out. I'll have a quick look at it. Could be something I do like a one-off on it or something like that. Although I will say, like, my renovation videos, like Hotel Renovator, which I did a couple years ago, I get some interesting comments on my designs for colors and things like that. I always do like the comments like, I didn't think that color would work, but after it's all done, it doesn't look half bad. I mean, no one ever says it looks great, but yeah, when I choose out my colors, a lot of people are like, really? That color? It's like, sure, why not? And then you see the end result, and it's like, okay, it doesn't look that bad. Which is what you always want to hear from people to a designer. It's like, oh, it doesn't look that bad. Looks like we got a little bit of crop damage here in this corner. We did get a lot of hail this past spring, so just having a little bit of damage, I guess, is acceptable, I suppose. It's not too bad. All right, Kubota. Just think how long it would take me to harvest this field with the combine and header we had last year. This header is just a little bit more than double the size of what we had last year. Hopefully I can get far enough over and not collide with the bushes. All right, let's get this headland done. It comes with 6 DLCs. It's quite a bit. So is it just like a DLC pack for the original game? So I thought, is it House Flipper 2 or maybe it's House Builder 2? I don't know. There's so many games that almost have the same similar titles. It gets kind of confusing now and then. I was ready to say it because the original House Flipper game came out like in what, 2018? 2019? So this field here does yield pretty good. You can see in the upper left-hand corner we're at like 110, 120%, along with our probably decent crop rotation that we had going here. And I think after I get this field harvested, we just got the one more to do. Or is it 2? I don't remember. It might be 2. While the combine's unloading, I'll have a look. One for sure, but I can't remember if I did the other one or not. So it's 94 I'm questioning. 16 I don't think we got to. 16 is not ready. But 94 is. And 94, I think, has rye in it? No, it's Triticale. Triticale is good for another month as well. All right. Grain trailer is just about full. Man, I got so much work to do this month and next month. Might take me a couple streams to get it all done. This is where you start to find out on a single player that you probably have too many fields when it's taking you that long to get caught up with all your farm work. Of course, the type of crops that I'm planting, they're all ready at the same time. If I were to plant like soybeans and corn in a couple of these fields, that would spread out the harvest season for months. That way I don't have to kind of rush to get them all done together. But again, also having a bigger header also means we don't have as many swaths to go around and bale up later on. Hopefully I got enough room between the crop and these trees over here. Should have. Barely. Alright, let's go empty out this winter wheat here. First we'll top off the chickens. They don't need a whole lot, but we'll still top them off. That way they're good to go. And the rest will go into storage. Well, I guess, you know, after we get the winery really up and going, the last thing I would purchase would be the BGA. Again, we don't really need the BGA, but we got a lot of material that we do kind of, or could bring over there. And it's not that expensive compared to what other BGAs are. I think this BGA is like $850,000, somewhere in that area. But of course, we can bring the cow manure and slurry over there along with the silage that we always bring over and turn that into energy. Hello, Kells. Welcome. All right, while this is going on, any other contracts come up? Bailing, tedding. Again, not really anything. I mean, I could send worker off out doing tedding jobs, but those aren't paying hardly anything really to be worth it. I would like to get most of the harvesting done as I can because as we see next month it's supposed to rain. The question is, how much rain are we going to get? And I probably should because, like I said, the grass field, I would like to get that reseeded. I probably should go up to the store and grab that and get a worker started on replanting the grass field. Year number 11 is where we're at currently. I know a few people asked, how much longer are we going to be here in Pichonniere Valley? And, I don't know, maybe like year 13, maybe 14. Because we are getting to the point of I almost have everything that we kind of set out for when we started the series. And I don't want to get stuck into where we're just farming just to farm and not progress anything. And with all the factories that we got now that we're shooting for, the dairy production, which we've had for a while in one way or another, mayonnaise production, the money is just coming in rather fast now. So we'll be getting to the point of don't have much more to do here. But as for what map am I going to next and asking those type of questions, haven't even looked at maps since I had Pichonniere Valley, I suppose. I know of maps, but there have been no maps that came out that I have seen where I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I gotta play in that map. I will bring the combine over to the next field. I may actually get a worker going. I think I got enough cash to be able to do that. All right, over to the triticale field. I think we can go over the bridge. I don't think the bridge is that narrow, is it? Although getting the header to go over the bridge, well, let's find out here. May regret doing this. Alright, how about if we fold up the combine because the ladder is kind of making it a little bit wider than it needs to be. Is the header coming on through? Yeah, just don't look back and you're fine. Alright, so the header came on through. And since our neighbor farmer has already harvested his crops, we're going to go ahead and just drive in his field. He'll be fine with it. Hello, James. Welcome. Hope you had a nice weekend. Oh, it's a little laggy over here today. Alright, so like I said, we're going to get ourselves a worker for this field here. No course. Well, you're going to have a course here in just a second. Hopefully you don't get stuck on any trees or anything. Number of headlands, I'm going to put 2, overlap, 2%, generate course. And it should take you 20 minutes to harvest that field. Seems longer than I thought it should be. Alright, let's go get this winter wheat put away. Trigger's in here somewhere. Yeah, getting the frame rates down to low 40s around the farm today. I don't know why it does that every once in a while. Some days we don't have a problem around the farm with the frame rate, and other days it just drops like a rock in a pond. It's amazing. Maybe when I go to the store here in just a second to get our Veredo cedar and then come back, maybe it'll reset. Ooh, can I, with the dual wheels, is this going to go over the bridge? It will if you line yourself up a little bit better. Don't know how fast Triticale fills up the combine, but let's go ahead and put it here. All right, I need to get into, yes, you. I need to go grab the bales that we just wrapped, get them off that field. So when I go grab the Veredo drill, I can start replanting that field with some new grass seed. Just like that, my frames have gone up to 50. Get away from that farm. So again, these bales here we're keeping for the cows. Combine needs to be unloaded. Well, since I am paying a worker, we're going to scooch over there. Wait until I get my third bale here, and this is pushing those back and resetting. We will get into you. Yeah, usually with the auger and the header, I always try to max out the header to the auger, but this one here, it is nice to have a little bit of space between the tractor and the header of the combine. All right, back into the fence. Climb up that tree a little bit, I guess. Guess that branch is more collidable than I thought it was. Alright, for now I'm going to leave these bales on the trailer. I mean, they are going to the cow barn, but time is wasted right now. I need to get on up to the store. And what I'm actually going to do, and I haven't done this in ages, but I'm going to hire a worker to drive this up to the store. And I don't remember exactly how to do it. Set destination. And you know what? If I can get you just to kind of park right there, that'd be good. And then we're going to jump into you. And I'm going to try to unload, because they got to be almost full again. Okay, well, they're full now. So I got here just at the right time, I suppose. Then I might as well go unload this trailer. I'll wait for Frank to turn around, though. I don't want to get in his way. Let me ride first person going through these trees here, and hopefully I can line up with the bridge a little bit better. So it looks like we're going to get all of our fields that were ready for harvest, except for the pea field, which we just bought at the beginning of the stream. But I got 3 months to harvest that. I do believe triticale I can feed to the chickens, but it'll probably, because we're going to have a lot of feed from this year's harvest, I'll probably sell the triticale in the wintertime. The heck did I just... Oh. Yeah, the fenceless husbandry pack puts down a visible post here and there, and every once in a while, if you go over it just right, you will come to a dead stop. Where's the combine at? Where is it? Is it hidden behind this shed here, kind of? Yeah, it's over there. Has our worker reached the store yet? They should have been at the store by now, I would have thought. Don't fill up before you get to the corner. Get the corner done at least. The beacon's on, so I know it's over 80%. Did the worker make it to the store? Oh, they made it to the store. Okay. Notification may have come up and I just didn't see it. Oh, wow, the frame rate is just... Oh, what are you doing there, sir? 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 Frank? What are you doing? I see. You're going to start doing the up and down rows, I think, is what you're doing. We get you unloading before you stop. Perfect. So combine holds 11,000 liters. When I get somewhere around 11, it's going to slow down quite a bit. And now I think I'm just unloading what they're harvesting. But we'll go to the end of the row. And we'll jump into the Fendt, grab the Viredo seeder. Alright, destroy a little bit. I didn't destroy any of that crop? Wait, crop destruction should be on. I got just double check this here. Alright, looks like I did destroy that. Yeah, I am destroying crop. Alright, that's fine. Just had to make sure it was still on. Enter vehicle. Even nicely, our worker kind of pulled over to the side of the road to get it out of traffic's way. Kind of. I'm probably going to have to drive this back. Only because if I hire a worker to drive back with it, unless this folds up. Oh, it does fold up. Well, the only other thing I could be doing is just keep unloading the combine, and right now that seems fine, so we'll drive back. Get some seed into this. And we'll start replanting the grass field. Now again, the way this works is it's only going to use the seed where there is no grass growing, where all the wear and tear has happened. So it's going to use very little seed. Also, I should have my beacons on. Fuel we're doing fine on, so don't need to stop in and top off. But then again, also I could always get fuel at our seed hut. Yeah, even over here our frame rate isn't the greatest. It's only like in the mid-50s on the frame rate. Although this map is very well detailed. But I think when I was starting out on this map, I was getting like 70 to 80 frames. Fent is a little light in the front. Do I not have weights on the front? No, I do not. Combine is full again, but that can wait a little bit now. That harvest is going to get done in a good time frame, so I don't have to worry about it too much. Oh, why is my speed dropping quite a bit there? Looks like my rear tires are sinking into the ground. Now they're above ground. Alright, so seed only. Another $1,200. My money keeps going down and down and down. I don't need the beacons anymore because we're not in traffic. So 1,000 liters of seed is what's in here. So again, I'm going to do a little bit of this. Actually, it's not going to take me long to seed this at all, so I'll probably do it myself. And I think also with the rollers, I might be getting some fertilization with that. Am I or am I not getting fertilization with that? Kind of hard to tell because my fertilizer says it's perfect. Well, we'll come back to that in a little bit. Nope, back up to that. Combine. Combine, where's the combine? So we'll empty out the combine. It should be able to finish up the rest of the field, not to get some of the bits it missed. You're going to make me drive into the crop a bit, aren't you? Yes, you are. Well, I don't want to destroy my crop too much. So... And you shouldn't drive forward. No. Keep the auger out, Frank. Frank. Yeah, the worker shouldn't take off because it knows, or it should know that I'll be on the wrong side. Frank. Thanks, Frank. Now you're going to have to pull over. Somewhere he's going to pull over. Alright, hopefully you're just going to stay there until we get you unloaded. Frank has always been hitting the sauce ever since FS17 or 19. Whenever I started calling them the Franks, I think it was maybe 19. On the Pacific Northwest. Alright, let me get back to doing this. So again, this seed drill is part of the Laredo DLC that came out a couple months ago. And this is for reseeding your grass fields after it takes some wear and tear. Got a pretty decent working speed. But the one thing I did remember talking about when I was when I did a video on this pack, this is the biggest of the drills. So if you're on a big farm with big grass fields, it'll take a while to reseed your fields. But luckily here in Pichonniere, we got small-ish grass fields. So when the grass germinates again next month, a lot of these bare spots, actually all of the bare spots, should disappear. I think the bare spots are more prominent if you look up. Do a bird's eye view, you can kind of see more of the little brown spots here and there. Some are rather small, but then we got other ones that are a little bit more noticeable. The other two fields aren't that bad. If I get to them this month, fine. If I don't, then we'll get it next cycle. But this field here was starting to really show the wear and tear from after about 10 to a dozen harvests. Let me just go ahead and I want to empty out that combine. That way it's not showing up there. And sometimes Frank will sit in the combine and keep charging me to be working. Actually, I need to just go around and get the little pieces on the corner. Yeah, Frank is still sitting in there because that's... Alright, it's actually Francine is still sitting in there. Let's get rid of her. Sometimes I wonder if it's worth going around getting this type of crop because you're maybe talking, I don't know, like $100 worth of crop. Which in real life, you know, if someone says that's $100, yeah, okay. In Farming Simulator 25 at this point, after about 11 years of farming, you guess yourself if it's worth going around to gather. That corner is clean. I think these corners might be clean. That corner and that corner. Yeah, I think we're good. Did fine on those corners. What do you mean I forgot about grape production? Won't be doing it this year. Are you going to fit all in that trailer? Of course not. Alright, we'll leave this stuff here just for the time being. Let me get back into the Fent. And let's finish up the planting or replanting of the grass. Yeah, the grapes are not going to happen on this farm until year number 12 because you can't plant them now. You got to wait until spring to put them down. It's too bad you can't, unless they changed it, but you can't even put the grapes down, I don't think, out of season. You actually got to wait until they're in season to put them down. I feel like you should be able to please put the vineyard down. I mean, they're not going to grow, but at least be able to put them down. That way, when springtime comes, you can go ahead. Well, they'll just start growing, basically. So I guess it's kind of a good thing that we got the rollers on here because it does show us where I've been. I mean, I suppose if you're using GPS, it ain't going to matter, but since I don't use GPS, the texture difference is just enough for me to see where I have and have not been. So the only benefit of this is this drill. So yeah, with the Verado pack, you're going to take crop damage over time from your vehicles and equipment going in and out of the fields, wears out the grass, so you get the bare spots. Or if you don't feed the wildlife, the boars are going to tear it up, along with every other field. So the only benefit this seeder has, really, I could come in here with our other seeder, the direct drill, but that's going to use seed everywhere. It's basically going to reset the whole field. This drill here is only putting seed down where the grass has been destroyed. So you save yourself on seed on grass, I suppose. What they probably should have done, maybe they did and didn't say anything, or maybe I forgot about it. But kind of like the MacDon, where if you harvest with a MacDon and put it into a swath, you get like a 10% increase in yield. I think if you reseed a grass field with a Verado drill, you should get a little bit of a bonus on the grass. Because really, to spend, I think I bought this for like $45,000, this drill. I'm not going to spend, if I went and got my other drill and just re-drill the whole field, I'm not going to spend $45,000 with a drill that I already have in grass seed. At least not for a field this size. So we got all the harvesting done, but I still would like to get the grass I cut into 2 small grass fields. I'd still need to ted that, windrow it, and bale it up. I really haven't looked at the mod hub that much in the past month or two. I scan it every once in a while, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if someone comes up with a mod for a bigger Verado drill or something to that nature where it will reseed the grass field. For our farm here, this drill is, wide enough. It's perfectly fine. But you get to those big size maps with big grass fields, it would take forever to reseed with something like this. And this might be the only map I do the Verado DLC with. Because as for the drills, like I said, they're an interesting concept. The bores are, they were new, so obviously I wanted to give them a shot and showcase it a little bit. As for like the slurry tankers and sprayers, I don't, it's not like I don't like them or I hate them or anything like that. It's just nothing that really, it's like, oh, I need to go use them, because if I wanted to use them, I would be using them. Or maybe, even if I did like them, I might not be able to use them on this series because they might require more than 200 horsepower. So as we're reseeding this grass field, currently we've only used not even 50 liters of grass seed. Like your mega grass field. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got a huge grass field. It would take you forever to reseed it, probably with this. I suppose if you're going to be in a month long enough and you got like a lot of harvest to do yourself, you can always just hire a worker and set it off, and by the time you end the month, hopefully the worker would be done in your large grass fields. But again, at least from what Giant said, you gotta, if you do like 3 harvests in a grass field per year, they're saying like every 3 or 4 years is when you should reseed the grass field. That's pretty much what we're doing. But even then, I think they said after about 3 or 4 years, at 3 harvests per year, you're losing only about 5 to 10% yield. I mean, it is a loss, but it's also not a huge loss. Alright, well, we almost got this grass field kind of taken care of. Although I think it needs some lime. Oh, the one thing I haven't done yet are pea field. I'm going to call it a pea field for now. I need to soil sample that somehow. I may have to purchase the soil sampling, because the crop is in the field. So if I were to go in there with the John Deere, it's just going to destroy the crop itself. Although the field does have tram lines, so I might be able to get in there with the John Deere and soil sample it. I'm also not sure if I can go in there and kill the weeds when the crop is ready for harvest. And this drill is just a little bit heavy for the Fendt. Could use a weight on the front when it's in transportation mode. So yeah, this field here used about 60 liters of seed. All right, let's go make some hay. And for that, we're going to use the 3650 John Deere. Now, looks like my rear tires are sinking into... Oh, it just got back on top of the surface. Looks like it's sinking in to the ground. John Deere. John Deere must be in the shed down here, which it is. Yeah, so definitely got to make some hay bales. You can see we got 2 bales left. Alright, so we need to drop off the weight. Really, it's not going to take us too long to tend a windrow, but it's jobs that need to be done. So, as I've been saying with the winery and all that we're going to be doing, I was thinking a long time ago of putting the grapes down in these 2 grass fields here. But the field that has the peas in it is rather large. I'm thinking we might put the grapes down there along with some sugar. Now the problem being is I don't know how much... I know when to make the wine I need sugar and grapes, but I don't know the ratio. So I may have to put the factory down to get an idea of how much sugar and grapes I'm going to need. I also got to figure out where I'm going to put that stuff. It could go where the hobo hut is now, because obviously when I, harvest the peas, we'll be able to put down our farmhouse, and the hobo hut can disappear. I could move the seed hut as well. We could put... Actually, I don't even know how big of a footprint the winery is. So that's another thing we gotta figure out. I don't know, when I just ted the grass, it doesn't really look like hay too much with the color that it is. The other problem with making hay is I'm throwing it everywhere, it seems like. But I'm pretty happy with all the work I'm getting done still in the month of July, and that's without slowing down time. We're keeping at our usual ×3 time scale. So being July, I think it starts pretty much at 7 p.m. And let's see, it's almost 5. So I got like another 2.5 hours in game time. So I think I can get this hay windrowed and baled. Yeah, at least my frame rate after leaving the farmyard when I went up to get the drill at the shop and came back. Looks like my frame rate is back to somewhat normal around the farmyard. Alright, that is the tedding done. Let's go swap this out for the windrower. Looks like we're getting a lot of cow manure, but again, that pit should hold about 4 million liters. I don't think I'm even close to that. Hopefully I can get all the hay out of the road. I think I can buy the road for $0. But that does give me a lot of land around the entire map. And then I probably have to pay like property maintenance every night on it, which I don't want to do. Not really sure how property maintenance is done. I'm not sure if it's done on the value of the land. Is this a percentage of it, or how that's actually really calculated? Actually, I could have had like the Fent ride behind us and bail this as we go, but as we saw how Frank was acting up earlier on, or Francesca, or whatever I called it, Francine. Yeah, she was not cooperating with me in that field of Trictical. I mean, she did a good job, but when it comes to cooperating with me and lining up things, yeah, we sometimes disagree. So as we're putting this grass into a swath here, you can kind of see these grass fields. They do got some bare spots, but nothing like the other grass field had. So yeah, August is going to be a busy month as well. We're going to have, I think that's mustard in the last field that I have. Need to harvest that. And then I know I got like a field, at least one field of canola that I need to plant. All right, one little more pass here, and then on to the last grass field. Get it baled up, and the cows will have food now for, I would assume, almost another year. Let me just fold this up all the way. And I'm going to start over here in this corner. Got some wild boars in the field next to us. Hello, Panther. Hope you're doing well on Monday and you had a nice weekend. Appreciate you stopping on in for a little while. Got some, it's like some hay out in the middle of that road there. I'm gonna have to make sure I windrow that up. So in the month of July here, I think I've worked from, well, not really from sunrise, because we always, I don't get them until 8 o'clock, but we'll be working right till sunset. And really right now, there's nothing in the sale page that, I mean, I guess the pea harvester, the handheld pushable pea harvester is about it. But all that stuff is not that expensive anyways. We're talking a couple grand at most, I think. So it's not like a huge savings. And that last little patch I don't need to get because our baler should be able to pick that up. Easy does it, back it in here because those wheels on the windrower steer as well. Alright, let's get this back down here. We'll put the weight back on it and it'll be ready to pick up the hay bales and put them away. I mean, if I get time to this month, we'll do it. We'll grab the fent. I think the fent is better off on the baler. And this should convert it over to hay after it grabs enough of it. There it goes. I was hoping it would because I know the silage bale's not bad, but I need more hay bales right now than silage bales. It takes more work to do a hay bale. I might even have time to reseed these grass fields. So you can see we do got some bare spots in this grass field, but not a whole lot. But we'll try to keep our grass fields in sync with each other. I still got my combine and the Kubota with the grain trailer in the triticale field. Need to bring that back and get that unloaded into the silo. Where was that P side did not windrow? Right here, I think. Yep, right there. Let's get that off the road. Spit that one out there. And should get at least one more full bale, I think. Yep, one more full bale, and I don't know if I'll get enough on the last one here to be able to even unload it. I think I need 10% to unload. Oh, okay, we'll get the 10%. Alright, so we are done with the baler. Let's get these hay bales off the field, and then we'll grab the Verado drill and re-drill. Shouldn't say re-drill, but touch up the grass field. Don't know how much this Verado drill is. Does seem to weigh quite a bit. Okay, back in the 3650. Well, any more work I get done this month, I am pleased that we got all the harvesting done. And we also got all of the grass fields pretty much taken care of. Again, though, the grass fields may need some lime into them. I can't remember. Actually, next cut, I may do some more hay bales because it does seem like we are rather low still. You know what, let me go. I was going to put it in there, but I want to do these in doubles. I think that's what got me in trouble with the stacking before by not doing doubles. No bales over there. So about 2 hay bales when I make TMR mixture. About 2 hay bales are good for about 3 months of feed. So 8 bales of hay should get me almost a full year worth of cow feed when I mix it into TMR. Of course, you gotta remember one of these bales is very... boy, I should have... which bale was that? Well, it's in that mixture now. One of those bales I just put in there only has about 4,000 liters into it, so it's not a full bale. It's not you, is it? Probably not. No, you're the full bale. Well, hopefully I'll remember that it's in there somewhere. When I go to make a mixture, I don't just put 2 in and not pay attention. Because that'll definitely be a wrong mixture if I do. Alright, leave the John Deere in the shed. Let's come over to here. Turn on the Roido drill, and we'll get these grass fields reseeded. And if the other large grass field only took 60 liters of seed, I'm guessing when I get done, I'll still have over 900 liters of grass seed. Or seed in general. Kind of curious. Does it say... No, so this grass field does not say it needs rolling at all. I was kind of curious to see if it would... If it did say if it needs rolling, and then where I'd use this drill... If it got rid of it. But, it doesn't say it needs rolling at all. Of course, the crop is in a harvested state. It's not regrowing, so maybe I'll have to wait another month to see that. Because rolling, as we know, is something I don't do. So I'm just seeing what other options it gives me on the drill. So it just says turn off the drill. Deactivate automatic seed rate, which why would I do that? Yeah, nothing else really there. Although there is no... So it gives me the option to turn off the automatic seed rate, but when it comes to grass, there is no setting for that. Interesting. So looks like I'll have time to finish up this grass field and that grass field, and we'll get the combine unloaded and ready for harvesting the mustard first thing in the morning if it's not raining. There is rain in the forecast. I might be broke when the morning comes because right now I only got just a little under $4,000, and with the production buildings, I'm sure it's going to cost me more than that overnight. So I'm probably going to have to sell some stuff if I want to hire a worker or, well, basically buy anything. Hard to buy anything we don't have the money. So I'm curious, if I go, there's a little bit of grass here. If I go back in and go over the grass that's ready for harvest, does that reset that? It does. I mean, I figured it would, but just wanted to be sure on that. That's why I'm trying to get the grass fields reseeded this month, because we just cut the grass in this month, so it's not going to set it back a growth stage at all. So yeah, if you're just joining us today, we accomplished a couple things. We bought the field right across from the yard where the farmhouse is going to go. That has peas in it, and they're ready for harvest. We are going to harvest them, but we're going to use one of the hand tools from the hand tool... I forgot exactly what the mod's called. So that's going to help us not go over the horsepower requirement because, well, it's a hand tool. But we are going to harvest the peas. Again, the only reason why I rushed into buying the field because I was going to buy it in the next month or two anyways. But I mean, if the crop is ready for harvest, I might as well buy it with the crop in and get some money back on it from purchasing the field, rather than purchasing the field when it's ready for harvest, or not ready for harvest, but when it's after it's been harvested. So get some of my money back from buying the field, and then we're going to convert the field somewhat over to a farmhouse area, and I do need to see how big the winery is going to be. And also I got to start figuring out where the grapes are going to go. As I said, though, I did talk about putting the grapes like in these two grass fields here, but I think I want to keep the grass fields. If my house doesn't take up too much space, we can always put the sugar beet and the vines over there. And again, we're just going to do the wine for fun. I'm not going to really do it to make a whole bunch of money on. I don't even know how much this stuff is even worth, how much the ratio is. I don't know much about the mod other than it exists. And has existed for some time. But we are in France, so, you know, making some wine while we're here, along with some mustard and mayonnaise. I've been such a, I want to say, in a rush to get a lot of the stuff done I wanted to this month. I kind of forgot the state of the other fields that we did in the last stream. I think I got straw bales. I do got some straw I need to bale up as well. I mean, I can do the straw baling while it's raining in August. Not really ideal in real life, but in Farm Sim does not matter. Hello, OHG. Welcome. Hope you're having a nice Monday. And so far, I'm doing pretty good today. Woke up and it was a little chilly outside this morning. Got back down into the 40s again last night. But the temperature is rising today, and the rest of the week is supposed to be kind of on the warm side. So, but in Farm Sim 25, we're doing pretty good. There we go, and the grass field is now reseeded and won't need reseeding again for about another 3 or 4 years. And I may not even be here for another 3 or 4 years. We'll have to wait and see. Since when do you have to reseed grass? Well, Lindsay, it seems like you've been missing some parts of what we're doing here at Pichonniere Valley, but that is part of the Laredo DLC that came out a couple months ago. So if you had the Laredo DLC, which comes with the wild boars, that's one easy way to tell if someone's got the Laredo DLC activated. But what that does is anytime you're going around in a grass field, you're putting wear and tear on the grass field. You're tearing up the grass. So what you have to do after so many harvests is you got to go back in and reseed the grass field. So yeah, the more times you spin around in a grass field, you're just tearing up your grass. So you got to go back and just reuse some seed, and that's what that drill does. It only puts the grass seed in where there is no grass growing in the field, rather than a regular planter, which is gonna use seed everywhere. But you only have to do that if you're running the Verado DLC. Now let's get this crop stored away. Somewhere in there. There we go. And the combine's got just under 1,000 liters. Hitting on one of those invisible posts again. It's got just under 1,000 liters of triticale left in it. So August, yeah, got to harvest the mustard, got to bale up the straw in at least 2 fields, and also maybe start planting some canola and maybe get to the pea field. But this field needs some lime in it also. And I think I parked way too close to the combine. And looks like the neighboring farmer is cutting grass with a Macdon and getting stuck on the fence. I could help out that worker by going over there and deactivating that fence for him. But we'll let him struggle. Since they're taking all the mowing jobs, it appears. So this may look like canola, but it's actually mustard. Maybe I should check on that to make sure I got that correct. I do believe that is mustard in that field. Yeah, I'm going to leave the combine right here because no traffic goes up and down this road. But yes, it is mustard. All right. So, wait. No. Yep, got to get back into here. And, yep, now that worker's trying to climb the fence over there. We're just going to pretend we never even saw him. So we're going to free up the trailer for the mustard next month, which is going to happen here very soon. I think we're going to do a little research, meaning we're going to check out how big the footprint is for the winery and all that kind of stuff. Alright, so the plan is, I'll probably move Sam's doghouse, the hut will be sold, and this will get moved. So really, like, if we go into construction here, so this would be the mill for making sugar. A nice cheap option there. I can do the oil in it as well, but we're not going to. We already got the oil mill for that. But if I'm going to do sugar, I'm probably going to do that because that's cheaper. How big is the winery? Okay, the winery is not that big. So I'm thinking the house, the farmhouse in the backyard with a pond and all that kind of stuff may take up that much space. We could put like the winery like in this corner here. We could do some sugar beet here and some grapes here, or sugar beet here and grapes here. The thing is, I don't know the ratio. If you're wondering about like the honey and strawberries, you can see there's 3 different types of wines we can make. But it's basically going to come down to the grapes and the sugar. I mean, I could put down some beehives and whatnot, but we'll see after we get the winery up and going. See, I think it's that. So this footprint's not that big. You know what? I might even be able to put it right here as well. Maybe more so. No, I want to put in a corner. Yeah, I'd have to put it like right here. I think that leaves me enough room to get stuff in and out of the shed. And the sugar production could go here. And that leaves me a lot of space to put down for sugar beet and grapevines. Yeah, I think that will work. Let me check the sale page just for curiosity, but basically nothing here that we want. So for harvesting the peas, by the way, if we go down to harvesters, it's going to be, wait, which one is it? This one will do peas, but I want the one, if I'm going to buy one, I might as well buy the one that does. So that'll do peas and sugar beet. So obviously I wanted to be able to harvest peas because that's what we got in the field. And then later on I could use it for sugar beet. And that will avoid having me to get the heavy harvesters, which I'm trying to avoid using on this series. We're trying to stick to small stuff. So, yep. But as for planting that kind of stuff, we can use regular drills and such. As for grape harvesting, is there a machine for harvesting grapes in that pack? Special crops. Wouldn't that be under special crops? Grape harvesters. Well, they do have this. Now, technically, it's under the horsepower requirement. So is that one. And they all are. But obviously, $250,000 to $1,000, that's a big difference. So, yeah, technically, I can get these machines. And it might be better than doing this. But that's further down the road. Because I can't even put down grapes until next spring, and then of course they have to grow and do all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're a ways off. Anyways, let's go to bed and wait. Oh, wait, do I got space here for eggs? Yeah, we got just enough room. Yeah, so let's go ahead and go to bed. So August is showing rain. The question is how much rain, when's it going to happen? All right, so far so good. And the good news is I'm not in debt, which I thought I was going to be. Okay, so it is showing rain in the forecast. Let's hopefully it's like just a passing shower. Not until the afternoon. And it will be most of the afternoon. So let's get the important stuff done, like the harvesting. This is a small field, so it's not going to take me too long to get done. So the mustard goes to the mill to be made into old-style pallets of mustard. Or whatever the heck it's called. Whatever the heck it's called. So I do have enough money to buy the hand-pushable thing to harvest the peas. I have no idea when's the best time to sell peas. And I don't think the silo I put down will accept peas. So I may have to... Actually, I don't even know how to unload the harvester yet. So that'll be step number 1, I think. What's the forecast for September? September's got rain as well. Okay. I don't know how long it's going to take me to harvest the peas with a hand-pushable harvester. I wonder what the price of butter is going for. It should be on the rise. Because I would like to have a little bit of finances in the bank account. Not really a rush to get the mustard into the mill because... Well, actually, I think I'm still going through mustard I got last year. Let me just see how that's doing. Oil. Nope, mustard... Nope, we've finally gotten through all the mustard, I guess. But that does not sell good until next March. All right, into the Kubota. Oh, yeah, we also have to have a look at the large grass field from an aerial view just to see how well it filled in with the Verado drill, just to make sure. I'm pretty sure it worked, but it'd be good to see that it did work. I didn't check the sale page in the morning, but nothing here that we are looking for. But this harvester has made harvest season, I don't want to, well, I mean, less stressful, of course, because we're ripping through the crop pretty quick. But it's definitely made our life a lot easier on the farm. All this will easily fit into the trailer, so one trip only. Hello, Farmer Groot. Welcome. Hope your weekend was well also. So that is it for our harvester, the Lexian 5500 for the year. $500,000 for the combine and the header, but well worth it. That's right. I don't actually have a shed. Well, I do have a shed I could put this in. That shed I'm thinking of is for the baler, not the baler, the bale trailer and the dolly trailer. But I'm thinking I could park the combine in there. All right, let's get the mustard up to the mill. And then we'll look at maybe start harvesting some peas. Got to make sure I also reactivate the mustard. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be buying any more fields here. Because we got plenty of work to do, as you can see, when each year rolls around. A little snug to get in here with a dual wheel Kubota, but it's possible. And those pallets you may have just seen, that is mustard that has been made since March. Now let's go ahead and turn that mustard production back on. I should be driving in first person going through here because these trees block my view quite a bit. So I think to bring back the harvester from the shop, well, let's grab the Fent and the dolly trailer. Head up to the store, we'll load it on the back of the dolly trailer to bring it back. Hard to tell, but it looks like maybe that farmer may have planted his fields. I don't want to drive in it. Not that that matters. Well, also, before I go harvesting the peas, I may try to drive in there with the soil sampler, if I got the money to do so. But first thing I definitely want to get is, let's go back up to harvesters. Scroll on down, and this one right here, peas and sugar beet. Main color is green. We'll switch it to blue for 20 bucks. Sure, why not? All right, let's grab the Fent. Oh, yeah, how much is the butter going for? I'm down to under $1,000. 1408. So it's not bad. I think that price should be going up, honestly. I could get 86,000 with our bonus. It'd be pretty good. So I could sell some butter to get some money on in if I need to. Oh, there's the Fent. Alright, off to the store. We're just going to throw that in the back. And we'll start maybe the peat harvest. Oh yeah, so our grass field that we replanted or reseeded. Let me go into full light mode here. Let me activate that. And yeah, we don't see any bare spots whatsoever. So it's looking good. Nitrogen's saying it's good in most parts. pH value not the greatest, but not going to worry about that too much. I have no idea how long it'll take me to harvest that field with a push harvester. That's a pretty big field. I don't even see how wide this thing is or whatever it is. You know, this was just kind of recommended to us a while ago. And I was going to get the harvester, push harvester for sugar beet. But to be able to get one that does the peas as well, that's, well, it's one of those things I did not expect to be buying a field with peas in it either. So the one thing is, though, with peas, that field's going to need to be plowed afterwards. But again, that whole field is not going to be a field after we're done harvesting the peas. Do need a farmhouse put down. If you look at the things I want to buy still, it's going to be a lot of expenses. The farmhouse, I don't know, like 200 grand for the farmhouse. Production buildings are 200 grand. And I can get the grape harvesters because they're under 200 horsepower. That's $250,000. But between the mayonnaise, the butter, and some other things, yeah, we got money rolling in. Alright, so how big is this thing? I mean, it's a handheld piece of equipment, so it can't be that big. So I'm not supposed to be using super strength on this series unless absolutely necessary, but I wasn't going to bring up a pallet fork all the way to here, so we're just going to pretend that some guys helped me lift this on into the back of the trailer, like so. I think that is strapped in. The Ropa does peas, the modded one. Well, a couple things. That's going to be way over our horsepower requirement. These peas are just a one-off. And I'm also not allowed to borrow or lease anything, so buying the Ropa modded one would probably put me over the horsepower requirement or restriction on this map. And buying it just for one harvest, not worth it. Now, I think the last time I harvested peas at all, Riverbend Springs, I guess? Actually, you know what? I may have done some on... Oh, what's that map? Riverside? Either way, it's been a long time since I've done peas. Not that I'm really looking forward to it, but... turn off the beacons. There we go. No, that's the trailer. Can I pick up? Okay. And we'll just carry it. Put it right there for now. The one thing I don't know is... I don't think I can, or if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to grab the John Deere 3650. I'm going to try to kill the weeds, but I think it's not going to let me because the crop is ready for harvest. So obviously spraying herbicide on the weeds to kill them would be great, but when your crop is ready for harvest, that means some herbicide may be on them as well. But it doesn't hurt to try. I don't think I can afford the soil sampling. So there are tram lines here. So I don't mind if I destroy a little bit of crop myself, but if I go where the tram lines are... And I may not be able to cover the whole field, but if I can kill most of them... And no, it's not killing the weeds. Didn't think it would. But like I said, it doesn't hurt to try. So let's go ahead and put this away for now. All right, let's see what this thing is all about. I have not yet really seen it in action. I've seen, I think Daggerwin was using it a while back on something I saw for a little bit. But he wasn't harvesting. Start the engine. Am I not the engine myself? All right, so B to unfold harvester. Oh wow, this is weird. Might be best to use my keyboard for this. V to lower harvester. Oh, and just like that, we are harvesting peas. Oh wow, this is a weird sensation. It looks impressive going into the harvester. Well, it looks impressive going in. But as you can see, we're not filling up that fast, but peas do pay pretty well. You can hire a worker to do this. The only thing I fear is how long is this going to take me to do? Because obviously it's a pretty decent sized field. It's going to take me just a couple minutes just to do a headland. Well, either way, this harvester that we have here is something I needed for the sugar beet. Now, don't worry. Again, this whole field here is not going to be all sugar beet. It's just going to be a small section for sugar beet. So I needed this anyways. So if I don't harvest the whole field of peas, not a big deal. Because this harvester, like I said, I was going to purchase it for the sugar beet for the wine. So I may not harvest the whole field of peas, but we'll get some of our money back on the harvester. And also some of our money back on what I put into the field. How much would it be for the soil sampling in the field? Not that it's going to help out the yield at all, but I'm just kind of curious here. If I were to go to here, $2,300, which I don't have. But we can see in the left-hand corner, this section of the field is like a 72% yield going on here, so it's not bad. This whole field here is not, it's below 100% on the yield. It's in the 90s, so it's not considerably that bad. If I were to... crop rotation yield is 115%, so that's going to help us out a little bit. It's going to be one heck of a workout for my farmer, though. So, I mean, I can't really tell how well the ground is fertilized or what the pH value is because I don't have the soil sampling. Look at that. We almost got a headland done. Yeah, I'm not really also sure how to unload this either. But I think it was branding iron that really kind of wanted us to use this type of equipment. I think it unloads in a pallet. Right now I'm just trying to get a full pallet, if that's what it is, and we'll unload it. And I can use the John Deere 3650 with the pallet forks to come and get the pallets out of the quote-unquote field. Again, this field does not need to be turned over until next spring anyways. Oh, speaking of, pallet of unload into a silo that takes peas. I don't think our silo takes peas. I mean, it is a modded silo for the map, but... will it tell me... sometimes it tells you, sometimes it doesn't. Construction menu... Silos. Yeah, it doesn't say if it takes peas or not. Hello, SBR. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Monday. And yes, Branding. Hello as well. Hope your weekend went well. So what happens if I go over it? Just trying to see if there's crop destruction or not. All right, so if I were to pipe out, lift harvester, if I unload, does that unload it onto the ground or as a pallet? Let's find out. Oh, it just unloads it as a pallet. And why do I got 700 liters of peas still in here? What? So the pallet only holds 1,500, but the harvester holds 2,200. All right. Graphics are nice. I'm not using any mods at all. For graphics anyways. Can the farmer first person view from this angle? I'm pretty sure... Yes, you can. Let's get rid of the HUD. We don't really need that right now. Yeah, you can do first person with this handheld tools mod, I think it's called. Oh, you know when the best time to sell peas is. Is that going to be peas? $1,000. You know, I could probably just sell the peas today to get the money and not have them around. I mean, the price isn't the greatest. Oh, is that the train station? Duh. I think that's the train station. Let me go to here and go to peas. I can only sell peas via train. All right, then. So if I can only sell peas via the train, if I were to drive my grain trailer up beside the pallet, will it load in automatically like wood chips do? And then I would assume if if they can only be sold via the train, I would assume the silo at the train takes peas. I mean, it would have to. Now, in all honesty, though, this harvester here is, yeah, the capacity-wise is, well, not even that. The working width of this is not that much smaller than that $500,000 harvester, right? Working speed is about 1 mile an hour slower. Definitely a great mod for small farms. But, look at this field. Yes, it is a big field, but for what we have here, I mean, I'm not going to do it all in one go here or what have you, because that would just be ridiculous. But I could probably get this whole field harvested in like an hour and a half. And you look at the profit margin here. I bought the harvester for under $2,000. And I'm going to get way more than that on peas. Might as well go ahead and unload this one right here as well. All right, so unloads behind you. Harvesting peas, as it says in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see where it says peas and the capacity that we currently have. I'm just going to finish, I think this is our third headland. I'm just going to finish up this third headland. And we're going to go bale up some straw, I think. This may be something this pea harvest here, this may be something I finish off camera at some point. This whole series has been, all the work I've done has been live, but this here, I may do this off camera a little bit. Like I said, it's not going to take me too long to do the whole field, considering what we're using. But as for watching it during a live stream, I don't think me doing this for an hour and a half is going to be too entertaining. But again, this field here, that side of the field, or this side of the field that we're on, this is where the house is going to be. And then we're going to put a whole bunch of grapes down over here. And sugar beet over there. Actually, I definitely go on soil sample. I got to see where the good soil is. The good soil, wherever the good soil is, that's where I need to put the sugar beet. To try to get the best yield possible. Crop rotation on the sugar beet's going to be terrible because sugar beet's always going to go in this field. No, yeah, I don't think Frank would rage quit on me on this job here. I think this is a job Frank may enjoy. Now, the thing is, I can't really hire a worker because, well, I don't have the cash on me currently. But I will say using this is somewhat satisfying. Not sure why. I just want to get up here, hopefully to where the other pallets are, and we'll unload a third one. And then we're going to move on to a different job for a little bit. And actually, the working area is a little bit wider, I think, than what the implement shows. So I could actually cover more ground than what I'm doing. Yeah, if I sell the peas today, I could get enough money into the bank account. And maybe I could get one of the Franks to finish off this field. All right, just get this right here and then turn off the engine. I think the engine's off now. Yes, it is. Not that it actually has gas or anything, but we'll turn off the engine. Nope, not that one. Let me get into the Kubota. So am I going to be able to... A little rough going over here, but just load these like wood chips? I also kind of forgot, with root crop and vegetables, there's no crop damage, right? So I can drive right on top of these. So are these going to fill? Ah, they do. Just like wood chips. So again, the only place I can sell these is via the train. So I could store the peas in the silo down at the train station. Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. There is crop damage. My trailer... Okay, the Kubota has narrow tires on it because they're duals, but the trailer does not. All right, so I damaged some peas there. Oh well. Let me get back into now the the vent. All right, I got some straw that we got to go take care of. But while I'm doing that, though, I think there is... I don't know what field it was, though. I may have to visit field by field. That was canola. 36. Visit 36. 36 was winter barley. And then... So it looks like I'm putting in winter wheat there. 65 was canola, right? 65 was canola. That's going to be winter barley. So that field number 24. 24 was winter wheat. Definitely not spelt. Will be next. Winter barley is a good one. How about canola, though? Canola, not good. All right, so that's probably going to be... Could do triticale, but we're going to do winter barley. All right. Boy, where am I going to put some canola? How about 94? 94 was triticale. Yes, 94 needs to be canola next. And then 16 was mustard. That can be canola next. All right, so we got a couple fields of canola. This does need lime in it as well. Okay. So let's go bale up 94. Because if I bale that up and get the bales off the field, I can get the Kubota in here with a drill and start getting the canola into the ground. So, yeah, get this baled up. The silage bales that are on the baling trailer, those need to be put down at the cow barn. Then we'll come pick up the straw bales. And then I can get the worker in here with the Kubota and the direct drill and getting the canola in. This field might need soil sampling. No, it does not. Also, it does not look like it registered the nitrogen. The nitrogen is still in the ground. Let me guess. Precision farming is doing its thing again. So if I go this field... No, it still shows 97. So either I over-fertilized it. It also needs some lime in this field. Boy, I got so much work to do. But with the new harvester, meaning the swaths are a lot bigger, we're filling up the baler at a rapid rate. Especially with a big lump like this. So the straw that we are making is just going to be sold. Maybe not this in-game month, but it will be sold. Cows really don't need any more. They got a whole stockpile. Yeah, might as well just swing back around and start from the beginning. Baler's just spitting these out every 10 seconds, it seems like. So it looks like we got our crop rotation down for the year. It's just a matter of getting everything prepped and done with in between the rain showers. Now, the only thing the rain shower is going to affect is actually the pea harvest, but I still have another month to get the pea harvest done. But I wanted to get a little bit of the baling done, because baling in the rain, even though in the game it does not matter, in real life, that would really suck. And like I said, I don't want to be doing the pea harvest for an hour straight. This must be where my combine moved over to the side to allow me to unload it. And the last swath for this field. I do have another field of straw in it, though. Straw swath. I got a couple fields with the bales in it. Now let's bring this over to the other field with a straw in it. But I'm going to switch back to the pea harvest for a little bit. Try to watch out for the chickens on the way through. All right, let's get back to a little bit more of the pea harvest. And of course, the more I go around the field, the smaller the radius gets, so I'll be going around faster and faster and faster. See, I do say this side of the field should be where the farmhouse is going to go, uh, but looking at the yield, I'm going to guess this soil on this side of the field is terrible. So that's probably a good place for the farmhouse. You can see the yield is up to almost 90% in this part. It was like the 70s on the other end. So better soil going this way. Of course, I'll save myself a little bit of time. You can see in the middle of the field where the tram lines are. Obviously, I don't need a harvest there. Yeah, this part of the field back down to high 70s, low 80s on the yield. Again, it'll be much more clear when I get the soil sampling done. But right now, if I can wait another month before I sell anything, because the price and everything that we have is going to go up, get a better deal on it. Yeah, so this section over here is like 90% yield. So this is where the good soil probably is. So this is a good spot for like the sugar beet, as I was hoping it would be. This farmer, by the end of the day, is going to have leg cramps, and their shoulders and elbows are probably going to hurt from pushing this cart. So I'm going to unload a pallet right there. Perfect spot for it. Hopefully the train works. I have not used the train in ages. That's going way back before they had, was it like about a year ago? The train, people were having a lot of problems with the train not stopping to be able to unload, or wouldn't sell the crop that was on the train. I just remember there's a whole bunch of train problems. I was told to avoid them. And I saw a couple videos. Might have been Chainsaw when he was doing a multiplayer with Daggerwind on Riverbend Springs. They were having a problem with the train. I'm like, oh, that's what people are talking about. I would assume by now the train's been fixed. But, you know, with Giants, you never know. Worst comes to worst, I could always, because we got the easy developer mod, if I can't sell the peas or the peas just disappear without selling or whatever, I can just add the money in for the peas and just eliminate the peas completely off the map. Or the peas that we harvested off the map. But really, this you know, it may look like, oh, you're just using a handheld push harvester for peas. But I mean, if you compare it to the $500,000 machine that you buy, that header is probably just a little bit bigger. Not a whole lot bigger. Maybe like by maybe a meter? Working speed is probably close to the same. I'm doing 5, and most times harvesters do 6. So really, for the price difference, this is probably the better way to go for peas. Save yourself $500,000. But this is going to be perfect. Our sugar beet crop is not going to be large. Again, though, I don't know exactly what the recipe... I know what the recipe calls for, but I don't know what the ratio of it's going to be. So I'm going to have to put down the winery first so I can kind of see what it, you know, what we get out of it and what we may need, and then kind of go from there. Again, with the winery, we're just doing it for fun. I mean, we should make money on it, I would hope. I should probably see how much wine goes for. That'd be interesting. But I do remember the mod, the coffee bean mod in FS22. That mod still does not make sense to me. I don't know if the price change ever did happen. But in FS22, there was a coffee bean mod where you grew coffee beans in a greenhouse. And then you were supposed to take the coffee beans and put them into another production building where you made roasted coffee beans. The problem was, you made way more money as the coffee beans as being not roasted than they were as roasted. So in other words, you were getting roasted yourself by roasting the coffee beans and not making hardly that much of a profit. They changed the Road King listing today. It went from release in 26 to be announced. Well, honestly, with Saber Interactive, that's the game I do believe we're talking about. I would say that's a good thing because you don't want to release a game that's not really there, and we got enough of those games as it is. I mean, I play a lot of those simulator games I get early access to when we find a lot of problems to it. Kind of like Killshade Farm, which that game has a lot of potential, but I saw a lot of the same problems when that game got released in early access last month to what I saw problems with in the demo. Not to say that the developer's not working on it, because I see updates to that game every day. I have gone back into my Hillshade Farm save file, and they do have a character unstuck button, which is great, because that's where I ended up my stream on that day of release, because my character got stuck. But I went to build a couple more things, and it says not available yet. Not available yet. So, yeah, we get a lot of games where they're not quite ready for release. So for Road Kings to say, to be announced, I'm okay with that. Because, I mean, we still got ATS and Euro Truck Simulator. And other trucking games, but those are the main ones. So, I have no problem waiting another year or so for a game like that to come out. Hello, Kenneth. Welcome. How am I doing? Well, I'm doing a peaceful pea harvest, basically. Just read on Google that Road Kings will release on December 31st, 2026. I would say that's just Google pulling a date out of their butt. So, like I said, this is a pretty big field for this kind of a system that I'm doing here. But overall, considering, like I said, it's not going to be that long to get the whole field done. Honestly, when it comes to release dates, I wouldn't trust Google. I don't really trust Steam that much either. You're better off, because I haven't checked it, but if you go like on Steam, go to Road Kings, and go to the discussion forum, usually the devs will post stuff in there if they are talking, and they kind of give you an update of what's going on, if the dates have changed or whatever. But that's where I usually like to get my information from, is right from the developers or publishers. And Steam is usually pretty good at keeping up on that stuff, but it may take Steam like a day or two to update the dates themselves. Devs haven't said anything since, well, you say August, so I assume August of 2025. So that's been a while. But I mean, Saber Interactive has got a lot going on. Of course, they got SnowRunner. They got Docked. They got Roadcraft. Actually, Docked. Well, I haven't been back in the dock since, well, the last time I streamed it. But I should go back in the dock, do a little bit of off-camera work, because now we can go back and do some older jobs, and I could stockpile up some money and some supplies. That way when the new DLC comes out, I can expand our harbor a little bit more. But also part of me says, we'll just wait until it comes out and do it together then. I think the one thing that's kind of relaxing about this hand pushable harvester is you don't have the constant engine noise, which is usually not, doesn't bother me. But now you can just kind of listen to all of the Mother Nature part of things in Farming Simulator 25. The ravens, the songbirds. Every once in a while you hear the boars running around. So again, I'm going to try to hold on selling anything this month. September, we'll probably end up selling the butter then. And then that way we can also hold off on the peas until the end. Well, like November, I think it said the peas are good for. Because I do need to spend about another $500,000 to get everything up and going for the wine. Wonder if it's going to start raining at noon. I think it was 2 o'clock it showed on the forecast. But it does seem to be getting a little bit gloomy out. Yeah, the AoE of this harvester seems wider than I'm giving it credit for. So yeah, if I can, like I said, wait until September, sell the butter. We'll do soil sampling in the field. Have a look at it. Then we can kind of figure out the layout of what we want to do. I think the winery and also the sugar production would go over where the hobo hut is. And also the seed hut will have to get moved. But that will free up a lot of space over here for putting the grapes over here and also sugar beet, which will get planted in the spring of year number 12. Let me just get to the end of this row here, and I think I'm going to call it for pea harvesting for now. Make sure I turn the engine off so the hours aren't going up on it. So a little over half an hour to get done what I've gotten done. Flight mode still on? Yes, it is. So I got 0.6 hours on that. So a little bit more than a half an hour. And I would say about half the field is done because I'm doing the outside radius. But yeah, about half the field's done, give or take, somewhere around there. So yeah, this field here, those bales got to be picked up. But this field here is the one I got to get into. I got to pick up those bales, put some lime down. I'm actually surprised this field does not need soil sampling. Oh, the problem is if I'm going to put lime in this field and I don't have the money for the lime. All right, and this field over here also needs canola and lime. All right, yeah, I may have to. I guess I could sell like the straw bales. Because straw is not that big of enough, but it'll be enough to get me enough cash. Straw is currently $33, which is terrible. But also over here, let's go down to see what kind of, is it just wine? So it's kind of hard to tell because I just installed the mod. So I don't know the peaks and valleys of the year, but we're looking at over $3,000. But there's I think there was 3 different kinds. Oh, strawberry. Okay, that price is only $2,800. And the other one is going to be probably honey something. Honey wine. $3,200. So it looks like regular wine is the way to go. And I don't need a special sell point for it. But we'll see what the prices are next year. But now we got a rough idea what it goes for. So, yeah. I think that's all I'm going to call it for today. Because today is actually my friend's Chris's birthday. And I want to go say hello to him. But I mean, I have been here for almost 4 hours. So not too bad. But today we got our grass fields reseeded. So they are good to go. They need a little bit more lime as well. We did start the day by buying this field right here with the peas in it. The target wasn't the peas, but the target is to get the wine, grapes, sugar beet farmhouse down here. But since the peas were ready for harvest, why not buy it while they're ready and get a little bit of profit from it? So we got that done. We got all the harvesting done, which was that field, and that field got done. Now it's just a matter of flipping things over with the $754 I got left in my pocket. But we'll find a way. Peas, how much we got money in peas right now? Almost $8,000 worth of peas so far off the field. So probably get about $16,000 in total, give or take, when we're done, if I am halfway done. And again, the butter price is going up. See, the butter price says it's going down. That price has gone up since we last looked at it. I don't trust these arrows too much. But yeah, butter price is looking good. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up for today. I will be back streaming tomorrow. I think we'll be right back here on Pichonniere Valley, continuing where we left off. If I do get time later on tonight when I get back, I will probably go ahead and maybe do a little off-camera harvesting the peas a little bit. Even just a half an hour may almost get the field all the way done. If I can get it done before the rain gets here, that'd be good. But I'm going to jump out here. Again, I'll be back tomorrow for some more Pichonniere Valley. Just a reminder again, I did upload an episode of American Truck Simulator yesterday. And if you're a channel member, you already have access to the episode of City Skylines 2, which goes out on Wednesday. I did try a little something with my recording software for those videos. So hopefully those videos, starting with yesterday's episode of ATS, look better and perform better than what I've been uploading previously. Not that there was anything wrong with the way I was, but I was trying to get the videos to look a little bit better and to show off a little bit better. But yeah, I'm going to jump out of here. Again, I'll be back here tomorrow, right here in Pichonniere Valley for more farming. Appreciate you being here on the Monday, watching me do some slow harvestings of some peas. And tomorrow, hopefully we'll be done with the harvesting of the peas. But tune in to find out. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Have a good start to your Tuesday. And hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. But until then, have a good one.